final on the Sunday after the VFL Grand Final has not been fully accepted by the clubs Launceston, Scottsdale and Longford, and there could be changes following an NTFA meeting tonight. Launceston Club has been quite outspoken about the decision because they feel that all discussions were made without consultation with the three clubs involved, namely Launceston, Scottsdale and Longford, and it's a well-known fact that these clubs are against the playing of Sunday football. They also estimate the club could lose up to $4,000 in revenue if the game is played on the Sunday. However, as club president, Mr. Peter Thurlow told me today, he will be moving for the game to be played on the Saturday of the VFL Grand Final, but at a different time slot.
We will be putting to them that suggestion that the Grand Final could be played on the Saturday, approximately, or say starting at 11:30 and finishing at 2 o'clock before the VFL Final starts.
Mr. Thurlow went on to say that he is sure the NTFA made the decision unaware that the famous James Hardy 1000 at Bathurst is also scheduled for telecast on the Sunday of the NTFA Grand Final.
And plus, I don't think they considered that the following day is the Bathurst, and that would have a larger following as far as TV viewing goes than possibly the VFL Grand Final.
However, Launceston coach Kerry Sanders is unconcerned about the extra week's delay, believing that it will work to the club's advantage, giving players such as Patrick Bailey and Malcolm Atkins extra time to recover from injuries. He is also not concerned about the fact that come Grand Final day, Launceston will have played only 2 matches in 5 weeks.
I believe our preparation will still be good. We had match practice yesterday, which was a pretty solid run, forwards against backs. The next Sunday we'll be playing a full-scale practice game against our reserve, plus we've got a couple of other players from that have been involved with the club. We hope Ian Donick will have a game, and Kevin Evans, coach of East Devonport, will come and give us hand ex-players of the club. So that'll be a good day for us and good run. I don't think so. I think both Longford and Scottsdale will find it pretty difficult to come up 5 games in a row.
To golf now, and Ian Baker.
Grand Final. Despite the fact that Launceston defeated Scottsdale in the second semi-final, the results throughout the year stand at 2 matches all. Sunday is the big day.
Launceston, by their outstanding form in the second semi-final when they defeated Scottsdale by more than 10 goals, will be the favourites. But the Magpies have won the respect of northern football followers by their courageous performance against Longford in the drawn preliminary final, when they came from a seemingly hopeless position in the first half to force a draw, and then again, after looking beaten on several occasions in the replay, finally ran out winners over Longford to earn the right to meet Launceston on Sunday. They certainly won't lack anything on the score of experience, with Greg Lethborg, Rodney Hill, Danny Hall, Stephen Nichols, Greg Martin and Jamie Dennis playing more than 1,000 games between them. Launceston, whilst they have only 2 players from their last premiership side in 1976 in Paul Ellis and Michael Stevens in the side tomorrow, appear to have more skillful and more running players than their opponents. But they will certainly miss century goal kicker Malcolm Atkins, who's been replaced by talented Patrick Bailey. Launceston also look to have an advantage in the following division, with tall players in O'Donoghue and Burke giving the runners Lewis, Stoward, Cook, Ellis and Cremascothan first use of the ball. The game should produce everything expected of a grand final, with the fresher and more skillful Launceston side defeating the courageous and gallant Magpies after their hard. Played in perfect conditions, the match attracted a crowd of officially estimated at 6,000 people. Yesterday's crowd was a just reward to the NTFA, which had worked hard to make Grand Final Day one for the family, against the popular sporting attractions on television such as the James Hardy 1000 and the South Australian League Grand Final. The crowd yesterday was fully entertained, particularly by the skydivers, who despite the windy conditions overcame these difficulties to land on the wide expanses of York Park. The Hecksmith Medal presentation to Scottsdale champion Jamie Dennis, and of course the team of dancing girls who went through their spectacular routines. NTFA General Manager Russell Hogarth said that he was delighted with the attendance.
Tremendous, Ray. We really got great support from the public with Bathurst on, and the fact that it was the day after the Melbourne final. The crowds really came out, and it was more people than we thought.
Would this indicate then that people do like Sunday football at this time of the year?
I think so. The weather yesterday, of course, was turned on for us, and we thank those concerned for that. But yes, I think Sunday football in September is the public agree with it.
Meanwhile, the victorious Scottsdale players, still celebrating their great win yesterday, gathered at Launceston Airport late this afternoon for their trip to Western Australia. The finals pressure, which they've endured over the last 5 weeks, was weighing very lightly on their shoulders. But they were looking forward to at least a week of rest and enjoying the hospitality of Western Australia. Scottsdale's win yesterday capped off a fine year for the club. Captain and coach Greg Lethborg became the first local player to coach the side to an NTFA premiership. And champion rover Jamie Dennis made a clean sweep of all media awards and won his second Heck Smith medal.
Work in the back line since coming on. O'Donoghue gets the hand pass to Woolley. Back into the centre of the ground. Cook nearly takes a fine mark. Play on the call as Stoward comes in. Puts it up towards centre half forward, looking for Thurlow. But Kerrison, he's been the man for mine that it really started the Magpies rolling. Gets it to Lovegrove, up towards McCarthy. But Edmonds once again takes a good mark at centre half back.
Launceston badly need to kick the first goal of the final term if they're to have any chance at all. Now Thurlow getting out in front, that's what he's got to be doing. Gets it on to Woolley on this occasion. Drives further afield, that's holding the man. Should have been a free kick against Lewis on that occasion. Now's the chance. Comes to Fafaro, a hurried snapshot at goal is good. And the Blues get back.
By Williams to put play in motion again. That's the first goal to the Blues in the second half. As Moore gets it out wide, Stoward with the opportunity. It's the hand pass wide to Stevens, beautifully met by Wilson. Hands and knees is Woolley, gets it well out to Cook. Cook's hurried left foot kick, could find Thurlow. He's got the break on Gillespie. And Thurlow brings in the mark. And this is how the Blues looked in the first 10 minutes of the second term. They looked as though they were going to run away with it. It's high to the full forward line. Williams in front, and he completes a strong mark in the back line for the Maggies. Swings it across goals. Could be dangerous. Hill. He's just had enough break over Lewis, and he takes the mark. Martin running past. Decides against the hand pass. Kicks it wide. Looking for Lethborg. Premiscoven there. Lethborg. Mail. Free kick anyway. Plays on. Allowed to do so. Kicks a bad one. Finds Woolley. That was the bare minimum 10 metres. And Francis Woolley has the mark and will drive the Blues into attack yet again.
Francis Woolley, a long torpedo punt. The Blues forwards have to get in front if they're to have a chance in this match. It's thumped away. Comes to Gillespie, a hurried kick up forward. And now it comes out wide where Rod Wilson kicks the Pies into attack to centre half forward. But over the back, Tony Brandt, who's been by far the best defender for the Blues, gets it out to Curran. Curran's kicked towards centre half forward. Thurlow, but the big thump away. A free kick's been picked out meantime against Thurlow, and it's going the way of Gillespie.
In actual fact, the back lines, as we've been saying, Colin, of both sides have put in very creditable performances today. Gillespie, no exception, puts it wide towards centre wing. Wilson and Curran. Should have been a free kick. Seen by umpire fellows, the exact replica of what occurred just before. And Scott Curran with the free kick can go inboard to Tony Brand. Brand has plenty of time to look further upfield. Puts it wide to Thurlow again. Thumped down to turf. Taken away by the Maggies defence, this time through Lovegrove. Into Moore. Oh, there's about 4 Blues around him. Stoward can get it out to Cremascoven. Dummies around 2 players with brilliance. Then gets a bad kick in and out of bounds, and we'll see a throw in the Blues forward pocket position. 59 playing 81, and a goal here at the 5-minute mark of the final term could make things a little bit more interesting.
No doubt the Blues supporters hoping for that. It comes over the back. Moore ducks the tackle, then gets boots of ball. Lethborg was being held, I thought, on that occasion by Woolley, but gets boots of ball anyhow. Drives out into no man's land. Who's leading in the race for the ball? It looks like Edmonds on this occasion. Judges the bounce, then gets tackled. That should have been holding the ball for mine. But the Blues go back into attack as it's driven to O'Donoghue. Put up one hand, that wasn't good enough, and Timmy Gillespie comes bursting through with sheer strength now. Slipped over at the vital stage, and the Tiggy free kick goes to O'Donoghue. Bad luck there for Gillespie. O'Donoghue drives out wide. Cremascoven takes the mark. A long, long way out from goal. Goes for a hurried kick. There's many Blues there. And Lewis lines up. He had a shot from there at practice the other night, but he gets into all sorts of trouble. Runs around 3 or 4 players, then drives out wide. Looks for Cook, and that's a great mark. Oh, what a gem.
Brilliant stuff, Michael Cook. That's the sort of thing needed too if he converts this, Colin, to inspire a side, because that was, as you said, a brilliant mark.
Michael Cook, 35 metres out from goal, directly in front to give Launceston any chance. They badly need this goal. The umpire watch it sail over his head, and through it goes.
By fellows to put forward a turf as Patrick Bailey comes off the ground and Pickett comes back on. O'Donoghue, Dennis pushed in the back, and Jamie Dennis will come out with a free kick and relieve the pressure for the Maggies. Gets it wide, Wilson, and Wilson takes the mark in front of Stevens. Going further up to Nichols, unattended. That's bad defence, Blues. How can you leave a man like Nichols by himself? I do not know. And the veteran could pop this one right through. He's 50 metres out. Moves in, drop punt kick, goes right to the line and touched off hands ever so close to a major there. 12-10, 82 at Scottsdale. The Blues throwing everything into this final burst. 10-5, 65, and Anthony to bring the ball in for the Launceston side.
17 points the difference, as Rod mentioned, and Anthony coming around the grandstand side. Kremis goes in from behind, but the mark will be paid to the man in front, and that's Greg Martin. He's on with play. Now they're standing flat-footed. That was poor play by Wilson, but he's good enough to recover. Then drive it long, off the ground, a goal to Wood. Wood kicking his fourth, and Scottsdale 13-10-88. Launceston 10-5, 65.
And that was the settler that the Maggies needed at the 9.5-minute mark of the final term.
Bounce down once again. O'Donoghue tries to take it out, but Lethbrook, he's played a great second half in particular. Drives it out to that man. Nichols once again gets boots the ball. Gee, he does it nicely to Wood. Wood just can't quite take the mark. Slips over at the vital stage. And the boundary umpire says the ball is out, and we'll see a throw in.
Yes, good stuff from the veteran there. And it could well be on over the sidling tonight. Claridge and Burke. Claridge tries to butter up, can't do so. Comes to Edmonds, gets it out, but Nichols is there again. Gets boot the ball. Jamie Dennis tries to thread his way through. Could have been lucky to get away with that one on that occasion, but it comes to Nichols. Pops it high towards the edge of the square. Bennett in front. Bumped away by Anthony. Good defensive play over the boundary line for a throw-in. Some 10 metres around from the Magpies' goals. Claridge in front. Over the back. Bennett with the opportunity. Ducked back into trouble on that occasion. Curran there. Dennis somehow got out. And then after he got out, the umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll have a bounce at the centre-half forward position for Scottsdale.
We've played 10 minutes of the final term, and at 65 playing 88, 23 points the difference. 30 metres out from the Scottsdale goal. Left ball. Hurried kick. What's it like? It's into the square. The mark paid. Scottsdale fans screaming out for a push in the back. Bad hand pass. The Blues can get out of trouble as it comes to Davies. Kick it. He's being hotly pressed by Wood. Just got the kick in time. Now, it's all Scottsdale here. They can just about rattle it. Lethbrook in front, pumped away. Launceston players running into each other. Comes out to Wood. Now he gets around. I'm afraid that one was a blatant high tackle.
Yes, not much way the umpire could have missed that one. Scott Wood, for mine's been the surprise packet of the final series. This kick is short, and Francis Woolley gets it. Gets it to Curran. The Blues are fiddling around. There's the kick. That's what they need. Long is the opportunity, but Woodard's there for the Magpies. Hand pass back could be danger. Lovegrove there, tries to get boot the ball. Lucky to get away with that one. Comes out towards Woodard again. The hand pass comes back to Kerrison. He can't hold it. Fafaro in there for the Blues. Comes to Cook. First clear of the pack. Over the back is Williams. Can't quite hold the mark. Going to be hotly pressed by Lewis. Being held by Lewis. Umpire Williams saw it. Good umpiring. And Williams comes out with a free kick. And Todd Lewis has not had a great deal of impact really on the game today, Colin.
Hit the first goal in about the first 30 seconds, but since then has been fairly quiet. As Williams from the fullback position, a lovely drop punt kick to the outer side of the ground. Nobody can take the mark. It comes down to Barry Pickett. He gets boot to ball, drives around the boundary line, but a bit too far around and, in fact, over the line and out of bounds. On the full, penalty free kick to go to the Pie. Rod Hill drives it back whence it came. On Nichols from behind, but Thurlow in front. Nobody takes the mark. It's paddled out towards Scott. He's knocked, and the ball goes over the line and out of bounds.
Well, really, with 13 minutes gone in the final term and a 23-point advantage, one just wonders what Launceston can do to get back into this game. The Magpies bristling with experience. I just don't think they're going to let the grasp on this 1984 premiership slip from their hands. Here it comes. Danny Hall kicks high, wide and handsome. Nichols in front. Tries to butter up, can't do so. Players throwing themselves onto the ball, and there's a free kick going to be plucked out of that somewhere. I think it's going Launceston's way, and it's going to be taken by Francis Woolley. Woolley now plays on into the centre of the ground, looking for and finding Darren Davies. Davies quickly on with play, kicks it long down towards the full forward line. Williams in front. There's a free kick to Williams. You can't play from behind. As Colin mentioned on a couple of occasions, you've got to play in front, and Williams doing that to perfection. He missed the mark, but got, quite rightly so, the resulting free kick. And once again, he will relieve pressure for the Magpies. Kicks wide to the flank, looking for more. Cremascothen there in front, and Cremascothen been a disappointing player today, but a man of his undoubted skills can't be kept out of the game for long. Now he's getting a 15-metre penalty. What for, I don't really know.
And that brings him almost to within kicking distance.
For Steen Cremascothen, yes. For 90% of other footballers, no. Will he have a good show this?
Pulls the sock out. Torpedo punt, I'd say. There's the kick. It's an absolute gem. It goes a long, long way. In fact, it almost went out of bounds on the full on the outer side.
It has.
It did. How far has he kicked that? 70 metres? 75?
At least. They're desperate, the Blues now. 14 minutes gone as Williams brings the ball in for the Magpies. That's not a bad-looking kick either. Goes to outside wing, but Curran there on the outer side of the ground. Oh, it's a shocking kick. There's another 15-metre penalty. It's a good 30-metre penalty, I tell you.
You'd like to buy real estate off Terry Fellows.
Yes, I certainly would. And so once again, this has brought Curran to within range. It's not a bad kick when he gets onto them. That's no exception. Drop punt kick, offline, out of bounds on the full. Same scenario. And the Blues wasting very valuable opportunities because they still trail by 23 points as we're at least halfway through the final term.
And the quarters haven't been all that long. 15 minutes of play gone as Jamie Dennis gets thrown to the ground, but he got his kick in. Mark taken by Davies. And the Blues can't afford to waste any time. They've got to go long. They've got to go direct if they're to have any chance at all. Danny Hall can't mark on that occasion. Whistle on play, and we'll see a bounce.
There it goes. Umpire Williams putting it to turf. Kerrison, quick kick, favours Davies again. He plays on, has a blaze away. Could be Lux of Fortune. As Lewis dives and he's paid the mark. Todd Lewis, 35 metres out from goal. A fairly acute angle, but the breeze would be blowing right over his shoulder. He goes in short and finds O'Donoghue. Well, bad defence by the Pies on that occasion, Colin, to allow O'Donoghue that latitude. I thought Lewis might have had a pop at them. But O'Donoghue now only a matter of 30 metres out from goal. Slight angle, puts it right through the middle. Good play, Blues, and they're back in the business.
71 plays 88. Launceston, can they claw their way back into it? Scottsdale did it in the first half of this match when they got back into it. Now the chance, Peter Scott. Well, the back man normally plays a half-back role. Let's see what he's like at shooting for goal. This is an important one too. Peter Scott, 40 metres out from goal. Drop punt kick is on its way. No, through backman, I'm afraid, Pete. Put it through for 1 point.
17 minutes gone. The margin is now just 16 points, Colin. So a couple of goals to the Blues. And this match would become very, very interesting.
Crowd very quiet. They not exactly getting behind their teams at this stage.
Here's the mark. Who's it going to be paid to? Oh, dear idea. I'd like to see that one on replay. I thought Greg Lethbrook's mark for mine. He's appealing for it. Umpire Fellow says it went to Francis Woolley. Here's his kick. Right up to the edge of the square, the opportunity, the ball over and through for another minor score, 11-7-73. Launceston. Scottsdale are 13-10-88. 15 points the difference. 18 minutes gone, final turn.
Launceston peppering away. I suppose by law of averages, if they keep peppering away, they've got to get another goal sooner or later. That's a good long kick by Williams. From Muscothan over the top. Now's a chance. Stoward comes out wide to Davies. A long, high kick to the edge of the square. Who's waiting behind? Oh, Peter Scott spoiled a golden opportunity there. And the ball runs over the boundary line and out of bounds.
He really had an arc in at that kick, Colin.
Wasn't an easy one to mark. Boundary throw in. O'Donoghue takes it out of the air. Falls to the ground with it, and it must be a bounce.
Yes, the Blues really applying the pressure at the moment. Only got about 8 or 9 minutes to get back into this game as one of the Scottsdale players is cramped up there, and umpire fellow signalling time on. It's an unusual way of getting off the ground. He's up now. It's Woodard, I think. I don't know whether it is cramp. It might be a leg injury. They don't want a loose man down on that Launceston forward line, though. There's the throwing. Free kick must come Scottsdale's way. It doesn't. We'll see another bounce down. Oh, I thought he got a good nudge in the back there with that Scottsdale player. And Tim Gillespie, not seen that way by the umpire. They're not worrying about the interchange bench because Wagner's on the ground, so I hope Woodard doesn't come back on. Here comes the opportunity for the Blues. Dennis in at the bottom of the pack. Can't get rid of the football in a similar scenario as umpire Fellows will come in and bounce and moved immeasurably towards the Launceston goals. Here it is. O'Donoghue, will he try and take it with him this time? No, he doesn't. This time it goes over the boundary line. Not pretty stuff to watch, but tense and intriguing stuff at York Park. 73 playing 88, 15-point lead to the Magpies. Jamie Dennis with the opportunity. Comes out. He could have been holding the ball. Now for Farrow. Over the head, Parker. Play on the call, but it doesn't matter as it's popped through. It's another one to the Blues. 12-7-79. They trail Scottsdale by 9 points. They're 13-10-88.
Things starting to hot up here at York Park as Curran drives the Blues back towards their attacking zone. Martin Allgrab didn't have possession. Play on the call. He's got 3 to beat. He's in all sorts of trouble. Gets the hand pass away. That's holding the ball now over the shoulder. Wilson to take the free kick. 79 plays 88. The Blues, it took them a long time to get that previous goal kicked by Peter Scott, but it's on the board, and they badly need another one. McCarthy was spragged as he goes to kick the ball. It's back with that player. Umpire Fellow says, I'll have the ball. Will bounce. We've played 20 minutes at the final term of the 1984 NTFA Grand Final, and the Magpies on top after a great third term, but their lead being whittled away by the Blues, who are fighting back gamely in this last quarter. Moore trying to burst his way out, but we'll see another bounce. Umpire Fellows put the ball to turf. A goal for the Pies here would just about seal it. And we'll see yet another bounce. There must be a good 20 or 22 players on the ball at the moment. Moore goes the thump away on this occasion, but it's all Launceston. They're all standing back, but they allow Davies to come in. Wilson in there. Lethborg, I think it is, diving on top. He doesn't want to let it slip away at this stage. The captain and coach of Scottsdale, who'll be desperate. We see another bounce some 50 metres around from the Scottsdale goal. Moore tries to thump it. O'Donoghue, that could have been throwing the ball. Now Davies finally gets the kick. That might open it up a bit. It comes up towards Cremascoth, and he can't mark on this occasion. Over the back as Wilson goes for the short pass to Wagner. Doesn't mark. That could be costly as the ball comes to Scott. Out wide he goes to Todd Lewis. The ball bounces very favourably. Oh, Todd Lewis went without it. Now regains it. Here's the goal coming up for sure, I'd say, as Lewis lets fly. Parker's all alone, allows it to go over his head, and through it goes. Oh, what a final turn. What a comeback by Launceston. 13-7-85. Scottsdale 13-10-88. 3 points the difference. 23 minutes gone.
Said the crowd wasn't very much alive before. Well, I can assure you they're right on their feet now. Claridge, opportunity for Wagner to try and force his way through. Comes to Lethborg, dispossessed. Nichols there. Dives on top of the ball, tries to scoot it out. Francis Woolley Dispossessed by Wood. Well played, Scott Wood, as he drives up the full forward line. McCarthy! Now, if he turned around quickly, because Bennett is all by himself, but the horses bolted. There was a golden opportunity as Philip Bennett back, but there's Nichols. And the veteran. Has he cramped, or is he playing for a few extra seconds of time, Colin McNiff?
Hit the ladder for sure.
He's making it look good. Now, what better pair of hands could you ask for to be kicking the goal with 3 points the difference? 24 minutes gone, final term. Stabs at the ball. He's made a liar out of me.
Oh dear, kicked it like an 18-year-old.
1 point. 89. 88 plays 80. 89 plays 85. 3 points the difference as Brand brings the ball in. Looking for Burke. Claridge puts it down to turf. Wagner in the van. Well shepherded by Claridge. Gets it high over towards Jamie Dennis. This looks promising for the Pies. Wilson's by himself in the forward pocket, and Andrew Wilson has marked on a very, very tight angle, but within kicking range. And what's perhaps just as important, Cole, is the time clock ticks over with a 15-metre penalty. Well, that's made a different, sort of different complexion on it. We're entering the time-on period. We haven't had that many goals kicked in this, the final term. The quarters have not gone long. Scottsdale have only kicked 1. Launceston kicked 5, so that's 6 goals. As Wilson moves in, cute angle. He's gone across the face of goals, and in fact it's just touched out of bounds. Oh dear, Stephen Nichols doesn't like that one. They already knocked it out over the boundary line. It's been given as on the full.
There's the kick in, but it's all Scottsdale. Wagner misses it. Oh dear. Oh, you saw it. Todd Lewis being reported.
A nasty blow.
Bit of doubt about a head-high tackle earlier on in the game, right? But there was no risk there. That one connected.
Well, valuable seconds, but of course this will be time on as Peter Claridge is in the hands of 4 Magpie trainers there, and who can blame him? It's a savage blow.
He's already got one player off the ground, Woodard, who can't come back on.
That's right, he didn't go off through the interchange bench, and poor old Peter Claridge is not looking at all healthy. He's played a very serviceable game for the Magpies. It's not been spectacular, but been very, very solid. Now back into play as Jamie Dennis is taking the free kick for Peter Claridge. Should kick long, does so to the edge of the square. Danny Hall can't complete the mark, and the Blues are away through Woolley. Gets the hand pass out wide. Curran kicks the ball long towards centre wing. Claridge has had a recovery. Well done, Peter Claridge. That's courage, that's guts, that's determination. That's what premierships are all about.
Goes in short, looks for Martin, and he marks. Hand passes on to Dennis. He's in a spot as well. There's a blue one behind the play. It comes up to Hall. He takes the mark. As trainers get out of the way. Couldn't see what was going on.
I saw Stephen Nichols on the bottom of that pack, Colin. With about 3 or 4 Blues on top of him.
By Williams telling the trainers to stay off. Danny Hall, this is the one that will seal the match. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. There's the kick. Oh, it drifts away. It's just gone through for 1 point, hasn't it? No, out of bounds on the full. May have hit the behind post.
Desperation stuff here. Launceston forward line virtually deserted as O'Donoghue puts a long kick in towards the half-back flank. Claridge nearly takes another great mark. In fact, he's been paid well. It was a great mark before and great determination on that occasion, but I don't think it was a mark. But nevertheless, that's the way it's been played.
Gets in short, finds his man, and that's Lovegrove, I think.